Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I'm your host, Liz, and I'm scared of thunderstorms. I'm joined by my co-host, Mark, who isn't scared of thunderstorms.
Nope.
We got a new AirPod case.
Cool.
Don't tell.
I have PBR. Hard tea
Oh, I've
seltzer.
grabbed a glitter beer.
Mmm.
Really living it up tonight.
Edible glitter.
Double glitter!
Oh. Checking YouTube right now. The Tegan, the Great American Bash recap got significantly more views than the rest of our stuff. Anytime I put returns in the title, it gets more views. Except Zelina. Zelina's the only one that didn't. Sonya Deville is probably the most watched one.
The Tegan Knox Returns was for...
Smackdown.
What?
It was for Smackdown.
It was a prediction. Anyways, happy Smackdown. Ah!
See, I can't even hear it. I don't know what you're hearing.
It's not the thunder, it's the lightning.
Liz, we live in a 2-story apartment building. Not even an apartment building, a two-story townhouse in the middle of the city. There's no way lightning is gonna strike here.
Lightning literally struck here like 2 days ago. You remember when you saw that big flash of light and there was a cracking noise?
Yeah, but it didn't strike this building.
Well, yeah, because the chances of being struck by lightning are 1 in a couple hundred, I'm sure.
It's a little more than that.
Might be. It's just like I'm too skittish with loud noises and flashing shit.
I think
This combines all of them. The thing is I like thunderstorms. I just don't like how they treat me.
You don't like thunderstorm, or you like thunderstorms, you just don't like thunder.
And the storm. It is nice. It's like spicy rain.
So you like rain, but you don't like thunderstorms.
Thunderstorms are like spicy rain.
Alright, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast, everyone. I'm gonna do it. Welcome to Pinfall Podcast. This is Smackdown. I'm your host, Mark. This is my co-host, Liz.
Do you black out when I do the intro?
You did not do it.
You did.
Oh.
I said, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I introduced myself, said I'm scared of thunderstorms. You're my co-host, and I got this new AirPod case.
Oh.
Then I said, happy Smackdown Day.
Guess I did black out. It's all just white noise
God,
at
you
this
do
point.
this. You do it so often, and it's just that. It's literally just that you black out on, and I don't know why.
It's because it's white noise at this point.
Thanks.
So, this was Smackdown. The last Smackdown in the Thunderdome. And
Really wouldn't have known it if they hadn't said something about it. They really treat this very different from
yeah.
SmackDown.
Hopefully Raw does something like a little tribute, similar to AEW, where they had the tribute video, which was super sweet and extremely well done. Hopefully WWE does something like that, or bids a farewell to the Thunderdome in some kind of way, a giant light show or pyro show. Maybe the Fiend comes back and sets fire to the Thunderdome. That'd be great.
Hey, you know what's interesting is that I have completely forgotten about the Fiend, Daniel Bryan,
Keith Lee.
it's weird. So it sounds like it's hailing.
Also, in the middle of being the Mets were winning 13-3, and now the game is delayed.
I thought you were gonna say the game is tied, and I was gonna be
No. The game is delayed. We can't just end it.
What inning was it in?
I didn't see. But we had a show. It wasn't a bad show. It wasn't as good as last week. It was better than the week before, in my opinion. We had a fantastic match between Seth and Cesaro. That was the match to end the feud between these two. That was fantastic. Cesaro got his head cracked open.
That's a sick fucking match.
Yeah. We had
he kind of Christopher Daniels himself.
Yeah, kind of. Except one was much less gnarly than the other. One was the WWE version.
Right. Christopher Daniels made me worry that he was like going to pass out in the middle of the fucking ring.
Yeah. We also had 2 NXT call-ups in the form of a debut. We had Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox, now known as Nox. I wonder why. Like, why can't they use Tegan? There's no one else.
Maybe they just thought that Nox sounded better.
Maybe.
Honestly.
But we have Shotzi and Tegan now as a tag team. They faced Natalya and Tamina, and they beat Natalya and Tamina, the current tag team champions. That's an issue in and of itself. But you know what?
This is gonna fucking fight them.
You know, if they immediately get a title shot after that, that makes it worth it. That in and of itself. Like, if they immediately are at Money in the Bank and have a title shot, fine.
I just sat here and thought, I was like, Shayna and I are kind of busy right now. I was like, who the fuck is the other tag team that like actually has some merit?
Mandy and Dana.
I forgot about them entirely.
They are in a feud with Natty and Tamina right now. But the match itself was not great. We had a third call-up announced. Toni Storm, who they said is coming soon. Don't know if it's in the form of her being in singles or in a tag team. I feel like since they just announced her as coming soon, she'll probably be solo. But we seem to be getting a big influx of call-ups right now. Maybe we'll see Finn Balor soon.
I wouldn't mind that.
And ideally on Smackdown. Just imagine though, because it seems like they're building up the first Smackdown from the crowd to be a big one. They have Bianca defending her title. They have the 4-way match, which is fucking stacked. Big E, Shinsuke, Seth, and who's the other one? Big E, Shinsuke, Seth. Who's... Oh, Kevin Owens. That is a stacked match. And you know what? And another way to make it even more of a stacked show is to debut Finn Balor.
Wait, see, the thing is that he just hasn't been backstage.
Well, he is the type of guy where they would want to reveal him. They want a big reveal for him. They want to make it a surprise. So they're probably just trying to keep it under wraps. Or the reason a lot of these NXT stars have been seen backstage is because they need to kind of prove themselves in main roster environments, and Finn Balor's already been in that environment. Like, nobody said Toni Storm was backstage, and she is called
So Toni Storm did the dark match with Tegan.
Right, but I think that was more so to test Tegan, and also Toni was out on injury for a while. Finn, though, he was the first Universal Champion, so they already know he's good.
Ah!
You gotta stay focused.
Can't!
Also what happened today, Bayley's injured, so they now have had to replace her, and she's replaced by Carmella. But they won't be fighting at Money in the Bank anymore. They'll be fighting next week. Edge and Roman did some shit that was not very interesting, or rather, it didn't go anywhere. Yeah.
I'm annoyed that I'm annoyed about Carmella in general, but I'm annoyed they took the women's championship match out of Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Why not just put Mia Yim in Carmella's spot?
Because I see why they put Liv
Sorry, no,
Morgan there.
I mistook myself there.
Um,
I don't. Then okay, so if Carmella's being replaced, this is what I'm mad about. Now that I've been reminded.
okay.
If they were just going to replace Carmella anyways,
Uh-huh.
why wouldn't they? Why are they taking the match out of the pay-per-view?
Because it wasn't planned. I mean, they're taking it out of the pay-per-view because they don't want, like... I guess they don't think Bianca and Carmella is like a pay-per-view match, you know?
I guess I don't know. I'm disappointed about that because I really am not looking forward to the Raw Women's Championship match.
Although, I am looking forward to that in the sense that we might get a cash-in during that match. Just think.
You think they're both going to cash in, both women and men? Or do you think it's just going to be one?
If Seth wins, yes. If Seth does not win, then... Oh, actually, if Big E wins, then yes. Big E could cash in right after Kofi loses his match. Seth could cash in right after or during the Universal match. And then Nikki could cash in after Charlotte wins. Because imagine that gratification. Just like Charlotte wins the title and then just immediately loses it. Oh, that'd be so good. But yeah, so we got Shinsuke and Seth are now qualified for Money in the Bank. Liv Morgan replaced Carmella. There's still one more spot for women's Money in the Bank, right?
Nice.
One more spot, which we'll probably get next week. Whether it's Mia Yim or Toni Storm, no clue. But that's really it. That's really it. There wasn't a whole lot today to talk about. The biggest stuff was just Bailey and Bianca and Carmella and Shotzi and Nox. It's gonna be so hard to call her Nox instead of Tegan.
They called her Tegan during the match.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. They also did call her Nox during the match. They kind of went back and forth.
I mean, that to me that wasn't any different from like when they call Seth Rollins instead of Seth.
Well, Greg Hamilton announced her as Nox.
Right. What I'm saying is more so that they use Tegan and they use Nox and like.
Right. They're probably just trying to transition us to the new name.
That they've been like Nikki Ash. We mean Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Then today they had the Raw promo and they were like Nikki Ash, and I was like,
Yep.
fuck you.
Yep. All right. So you want to get into some news before we get into the main event? If you can focus.
I'd love to. We've got a lot of news actually. So I don't know if we have. Yeah, okay. I guess we have a lot of news.
I don't know what news there is.
Not like a ton of big news, but just like a lot of news.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's start with me pushing my phone into my face. So I can actually pull the news up. So we'll start with some sad news. Chris Youngblood, who was in Chris Romero, passed away at the age of 55. He was partnered with Rocky Romero in WCW. Or sorry, he was in WCW, but he was also in WWC, where they held the tag team championship, as well as holding gold in NWA, GWF, and was a one-time WWA heavyweight champion. So Rocky Romero announced that Chris passed away. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
But moving into some non-WWE news. Didn't see this. I don't know what to tell you. Debuted at AEW last night, 2 nights ago. I don't know where the fuck I am. But he debuted, and it's fucking hilarious because apparently the whole reason that the WWE was trying to get him back so badly because they fucked up his contract. He said that he had the 30-day non-compete as opposed to the 90-day non-compete, which meant he was able to just kind of pop up whenever he fucking wanted.
Yeah, he was still on the NXT contract.
Yeah, and so is Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy can fucking go anywhere he wants to as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's fucking hilarious. I think it's amazing that the WWE fucked that up so badly. But I'm just so excited to see Alistair, or Malachi, as we're calling him now.
Although, what I'm seeing, speculating, is Tommy End and Malachi Black are two different people, or two different entities. Tommy End is the person, and he's being, according to the promo, possessed by Malachi Black, or is alluded to that, because he says he used to go by Tommy End, now he goes by Malachi Black.
If it's Alistair, I know it's going to be a good story.
Yeah, I mean, the dude puts his heart into everything. He's so fucking creative. I mean, he did a Twitch stream after his debut and was just so happy and excited. And I mean, the amount of matches you can get out of this guy is endless. Like, Lance Archer wants to fight him. He's definitely got a feud against Cody. We're probably going to come out on top there, finally. Somebody breaks through Cody Island.
I'm so excited to see more of him. I also, I just say, like, every time somebody's released, there is speculation, like, oh, they're going to go to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice that AEW isn't just like sometimes they do it, but like it's usually before pay-per-view. Like, it's nice that they aren't like, well, we got a big signing. There's a big signing coming. We got a big signing.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just Tony Schiavone stands in the middle of the ring and he's like, oh, da, da, da. Also, here's this guy. And it's like,
yeah. I mean,
it
depends on who it is. Like, Christian, that was like an announcement. Like, oh, we have somebody.
Pay-per-views, they will do that. Like, Tony Khan, almost every pay-per-view, he's like, we got some big signings coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, well, it's a pay-per-view. How else am I going to be forced to spend 50 fucking bucks on you?
Mm-hmm. But somebody like Alistair definitely needs to be a surprise as opposed to some big announcement.
Yeah. That was fucking awesome. Especially because, like, the lights went out and I was like, maybe it's just the hurricane?
Yeah. And they mentioned that in commentary, like, the hurricane's rolling through, so we're going to be experiencing
and they did it so casually, too. Like, Excalibur did such a good job of playing that off.
Yeah.
I know, like, with, like, when there was fucking Retribution and the Raw commentators were like, what's going on? I was like, obviously.
But we can talk about AEW for hours, but we won't. We should move on.
All right, so another piece of news is we now know why Pac and Anthony Ogogo are not on TV. It's basically just because they are currently in the UK and cannot come back. So, not great, but at least we know that, like, they aren't just being shelved for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't expect AEW to do, but
yeah, that sucks about Ogogo because he just came. He was just in a big storyline, and just kind of got sidelined.
I feel like you have to be careful now, like, with where you're fucking, like, traveling to. And obviously, like, for obvious reasons, but also because might not be able to come back.
Yeah. But
sorry.
hopefully they'll be back soon. Especially.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, both of them. No one over the other because they're both fantastic. Pac, I would love to see back teaming with Penta, and challenging Kenny, and fucking Ogogo. Although I don't know what they do with Ogogo now because they're not feuding with Cody anymore.
I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, I feel like we can say, I don't know what they're going to do, and then they do something and we're like, oh, that's obvious. You know?
I wonder, maybe we'll get Nightmare Factory, or the Factory versus Team Taz. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I forgot to do that earlier.
The Go-Go versus Brian Cage. That'd be sick. QT Marshall versus Taz. Aaron Solo versus Hook. Hook
Or
wins in
Tom
like
Holland.
2 minutes. Yeah. They showed what his gear is gonna look like for his debut, and he looks so sick.
How old is Hook? Is he our age?
No, he's younger, I think.
Oh yeah, he's a baby, isn't he?
Yeah. Taz's son. Alright.
Still awesome that. Anyways. This is your fault.
Yeah, that was my fault.
So I don't fucking know. We're in the WWE news now, so I'm just kind of like, whatever. Extreme Rules location and date was announced. They are going to be a lot of additional dates were announced. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, Extreme Rules is taking place in Columbus, Ohio on September 26th this year. And September 10th, as some people might know, WWE is going to be in New York City for Madison Square Garden. And apparently that is going to be an episode that will feature both Raw and SmackDown stars, which I think is fucking stupid. It's dumb as shit.
Yeah. Wait.
It's like, that's something you would do before, like, Survivor Series.
Wait, is this WWE Live?
The SmackDown episode that's going to be in MSG.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like their live show, WWE Live, which I have no clue what it is.
Oh, not the Super Show.
Is that a super show? I thought that was just like a house show.
Let's see.
I didn't realize it would be like a super card.
Okay, so there's WWE Live and there is Super Show. Super Show's on the weekends.
Saturday night main event.
Yeah. So I just think that's like the dumbest idea in the world. And I'm kind of annoyed by it.
I mean, I don't mind it. I like a little bit of crossover. I like acknowledging that the other side exists.
You mean like NXT UK? This is like that?
Yeah, like invasion story. We need another invasion. Like have AEW invade WWE. That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, be fun.
Vince would never, or Nick would never let that happen. Two cons can't exist in the same place.
Tony Khan would never let that happen.
I don't know. I feel like Tony's up for anything. I mean, they had the Impact invasion.
You got a point there.
Or I think it was the other way around. I think AEW invaded Impact.
So, once again, we now have rumors of... Oh, fuck me.
What are you doing?
Look for something. I'm looking for something that was on my desk and now is not on my desk.
What is it?
A little portable charger. I needed it.
Just use cord.
I currently have my laptop plugged in on both sides.
We're gonna be waiting for you to find this.
No. Anyways, all started teasing Brock Lesnar again.
Fun.
Guarantee you, it means absolutely fucking nothing. But he changed, I guess, his profile picture to one of Brock standing over Roman. Which confuses me, I guess. Because why would Paul post that?
Mm-hmm.
Roman's his guy. Be a cool betrayal storyline, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonder what they're gonna do. I don't know. If Brock comes back, if Brock comes back and he doesn't have Paul, he's gonna fall so flat.
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna be horrible. Okay, so final pieces of news. WWE filed for Nikki Cross related trademarks, specifically Nikki Ash, one word. Nikki Ash, AASH, and Nikki Ash with an E at the end. I guess they don't know what they're fucking calling her yet.
No, that might be just trademarks so that nobody can use the name for like use a name that sounds like it but isn't spelled the same. They're just kind of covering their bases, I think.
I just don't think that they know how they want it to look.
Maybe.
Like, I think that's what this is. I think they're just like, because I think that the carrying thing was fast-tracked without a lot of people knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I think creative is like, well, it's gonna have to go on merch and it's gotta look one way that's good.
Do you think when Carrion debuts, they're just gonna call him Cross?
Yes.
Like,
I almost definitely feel that way.
like just Cross, no Carrion.
Yeah,
Because Carrion's cooler than Cross.
Carrion is cooler than Cross.
Oh my god, it's Carrion! That kind of sounds like Carrion.
And it does.
Anyway.
Got a point there. So other news is that apparently WWE has big ass fucking plans for, might not mean anything. It is NXT. Has big plans for a particular NXT star, and thank God it's the NXT star that I'm rooting for, because it's Roderick Strong.
Cruiserweight
Apparently, they plan to feature the Cruiserweight division prominently this year.
Good.
And it seems like they're trying to push him into the Cruiserweight belt. And I'm really excited for that, because that means that Diamond Mine's going to get a fuck ton of shit done. And we might get Diamond Mine versus Legado.
Yeah. Although Legado
Sounds
seems
fun.
more concerned with the North American title. We'll probably get them versus Hit Row.
Whatever. Excited.
Yeah.
Alright, last piece of news. Weirdest piece of news, too.
Okay.
WWE Smackdown is heading to Rolling Loud Miami 2021. Marcus, you told me about this news.
Didn't I?
Yes, you did. You said it was very weird. Rolling Loud Miami is a music.
Oh, yeah, it's a
festival?
music festival. They're gonna have a couple matches live at the music festival. People like Post Malone, Lil Yachty will be there. But the scheduled for that day is another show, like the live show in front of an audience. I forget where it is, but so it's only going to be like the live show will have the regular show, but a couple matches from that will cut to Rolling Loud.
So, to clarify exactly what you're saying, the July 23rd episode of the show will feature a split-site broadcast with a number of matches happening at Rolling Loud Miami, while the remainder of the show will take place at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to work. It would suck for that live crowd since they won't get those matches. Might get some dark matches out of it, which would be pretty cool, but
I guess, like, if you go to a music festival and you're just like, oh, fuck, there's a wrestling match happening, why don't I watch that shit?
I
don't know. It's just so weird to me.
Yeah,
Not where I would expect to have a wrestling match.
I mean, maybe they'll make something cool out of it. It's Smackdown, right?
Sure.
Okay.
That is all the news I have for tonight. Nothing major. Mainly because the major news was
Bailey.
addressed on SmackDown.
Yeah. Alright, so we had SmackDown today. Not a huge episode, but still, those call-ups are big. So we started off with Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso outside of Roman's suite. Paul says Roman's got a lot on his plate. You will get his full attention tonight, I promise you. We then go to Roman and Gorilla. Heyman walks in. He says, "It's done, Tribal Chief." Roman then walks out to the ring. Roman and Paul walk out to the ring together. Roman said, "I know a lot of you at home didn't like the fact that I was in prison last week. There was a lot about last week." What? Did he not say prison? What did he say? So I was confused.
I don't know exactly what he said, but I know he did not say in prison. You said that. I thought you were joking.
No. Was it in person?
Something like that, maybe. But yeah, if I could play it back, I knew what he said at the time, but
maybe I was missing. I don't know. But there was a lot about last week I didn't like either. There's one thing I will not stand for. That's a liar like Edge saying I fear him. I am an honest man. In our WrestleMania match, for one moment, maybe 10 seconds, when he had me in that hold, there might have been a little fear. But what did that do? It propelled me. Like every other piece of adversity. What happened in that night? I smashed him, I stacked him, and I pinned him, and we printed a shirt because of this. So don't come out here and say I'm in your head. I was not focused when you got to me. I wasn't even thinking about you, but since we're talking about family, this might be a good time to handle some business. Jimmy Uso walks out. Jimmy says, "Why do you think I got an Edge face last week? It was for us. You must have been on vacation. I showed up." Roman said, When did I tell you to do this for us? Vacation? Vacation? If anyone earned a vacation, I earned one. But I don't take vacations. I was busy doing your job too. Jay then comes out. He said, "Usos are back. All of us. Your right-hand man is back, Us, but I always got your back. Keep your head up, and let's get back to work, becoming 7-time tag team champions." Roman then says, "And I've been saying it all along. That's all I've ever wanted. You choose what you want to hear. 7-time tag team champions. Universal champion. And the way we do it together. On the same page. All of us working together. But we do it my way." And then they have a group hug. Very sweet until Roman looks like he's choking both of them out. We then get an interview with Baron Corbin. Which this is like the funniest. This and the next thing are the funniest shit in the world. So Corbin says, "I need to win this. I need to win this. My life is a mess right now. I lost everything. I can do this again. That's the only opportunity I have to turn my life around." And so we then get Baron Corbin versus Shinsuke Nakamura. But Baron Corbin walks out. Not even to any music at all. He just walks out. No music, no graphics, no pyro, nothing. He's got nothing.
so sad.
Oh my god. And then Big E walks out. Big E gets the whole shebang, and he's wearing Bailey's Ding Dong Hello shirt, which is very sweet. And he's there for sideline commentary, sitting on a couch with a mini fridge at a foot spa. And Liz, would you like to get into the match?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to say this because you move so fast between promos.
Oh, sorry.
But the fucking Roman promo, 100%, felt like that scene in It's Always Sunny when they moved to the suburbs. They're freaking out in the trash room, and Dennis is just like, guys, all we have to do is just exist." That's the tone of Roman and the face felt exactly like that.
Well, no, Roman's not a face. But That's a wrestling joke for you.
Oh boy.
Bam.
Anyways, welcome to another night of I didn't highlight my notes. Sorry. So Corbin just attacked Shinsuke as he's walking down the ramp.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Oh, we should also mention that they cut to earlier today. Shinsuke and Boogs drive in Corbin's old Mercedes.
Nice car.
It is a nice car.
That car.
Nice Mercedes SUV.
An SUV.
Yeah, it's an SUV.
Cars.
Yeah.
So there's, in the ring, there's a kick to the head of Corbin, and then a gut buster to Shinsuke. Corbin just starts tossing the little king around. He drops him shin first. He drops him ribs first onto the ropes. Shinsuke gets an enziguri off to Corbin, and then a running knee into the ribs of Corbin as he lays across the top buckle. And then we get like a weird leg sweep, sort of. You said it looked more like a failed backstabber, but I saw their legs like kind of hooked together, and that's usually what you do with a leg sweep.
But Shinsuke grabbed both of Corbin's shoulders, and then kind of got one leg, like had one leg up as if he was getting positioned for backstabber. But like, even if it was a side Russian leg sweep, it was not. It was botched. One way or another, it was some botched move.
I feel like we get this a lot in these matches with Corbin and Shinsuke, where like something just doesn't land the way it's supposed to, and we're just sitting there like, I don't know about that. So we get a sliding clothesline to Corbin after that. Corbin tries to get the single leg crab on Shinsuke, but Shinsuke grabs the ropes, ends up getting himself tossed by Corbin in a belly to back suplex. There's a waistlock on Corbin from Shinsuke. Wrote that note wrong. There's a waistlock on Shinsuke. Shinsuke gets free, throwing some elbows back. They go down to ringside, and Shinsuke kind of looks like he wants to suplex Corbin into the announce desk, but instead Corbin sends Shinsuke noggin first into a brainbuster down onto the announce desk after having punched Rick Boogs. It was a solid fucking punch.
Yeah.
Corbin gets Shinsuke back in the ring, beats him up in the corner for a little bit, whips him into the opposite corner, and then Corbin runs at him. Shinsuke dodges. Corbin goes into the post. There's an enziguri to Corbin, and then a deep six to Nakamura. Corbin goes for an armbar. Shinsuke gets Corbin into a triangle submission hold. Corbin lifts him, slams him to the ground in a powerbomb. Nakamura does not release. Corbin ends up falling down. He gets a foot under the rope, though, to break the hold. Shinsuke starts setting up for the Kinshasa, and then Corbin clotheslines him upon arrival. We get a jumping knee, though, to the midsection of Corbin, and then a Kinshasa, which knocks Corbin down. And if they don't start calling it the Kinshasa,
Ooh.
Yeah, missed opportunities.
That's good.
I know.
But I love how they're calling him Kingsuke.
Yeah.
Kingsuke, not King Mora.
Shove it anywhere you can.
Kingsuke, not King Mora, giving the Kinshasa. Anyway. After that, we had the Usos in their suite. Jay says, we fight and make up since we were kids. Someone like Edge would bring us back together. Very short promo. Then we go to Natty and Tamina in the ring. Natty said, we were told we had a tag team match in the ring tonight with women who haven't been on Smackdown. Both these women have been on Smackdown before. So Tamina says, so hurry up and get out here. And out come Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox. They were both on SmackDown last year. There was a battle royal. for I think it was an opportunity at the Smackdown Women's title. I think Bailey did like an open challenge, but it had to be done through a battle royal. So they were on SmackDown for one episode. And then yeah, we have Natty and Tamina versus Shotzi and Nox.
Yeah, it leads you to the question of like, how much did creative know about this? Because like, why did Tegan Nox come back in the first place? Why do we have all those promos? What was the point of her interfering? Why did she, if she didn't interfere, so that Candice and Indy would drop the titles?
It's because Vince doesn't give a shit about what happens on NXT.
It's just, it's so annoying. It's so maddening. I get it. I get why they did it, because like there's 2 other women's tag teams right now.
Yeah.
I'm not counting Piper and Eva Marie. Not counting them.
Miriam said Candice and Indy dropped the title so we can get back to Index, obviously.
The only silver lining.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And another silver lining, Ember is now in the singles scene. So she can go back
she
to
was
going to
fight Raquel.
Yeah. She got a match recently, but I think she could do for another one because that last one wasn't great.
Good.
Huh?
Good.
Oh yeah. The lead up wasn't very great.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
This match was not all there.
Oh no, this match. I mean, Shotzi and Tegan looked great. But the match itself was not very good.
Bad match.
Tegan looked good. Shotzi was 50-50. But for her first time on the main roster, she was good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna count it against them because it probably is a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Best for them to get their main roster debut when there's not a crowd.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little more stressful. With that said, yeah, this match was not all there. I think my biggest problem with it was the constant frequent tagging that Tegan and Shotzi did. It was tiring. I didn't feel like I got a good image of either girl in the ring.
I got a good image of Tegan.
I got a better image of Tegan than I did of Shotzi. But I understand when, like, you know, like when Legato does it, when it's like Wild and Mendoza tagging in and out and just kicking the person in the corner. I get that. You're being a dick. Like, to do it for the whole match is a bit much, I think. I'm also not a wrestler, so my opinion doesn't fucking matter.
But my biggest problem with this match is the outcome. The ending. The fact that...
What else was gonna happen?
What else could happen is Shotzi and Tegan, or we double count out. Count out. Now that Natty and Tamina are heels, they pull out a chair or something. They DQ anything. There are a million ways to do this besides having the champions get pinned. Like, it was a clean pin. Have some sneaky shit happen. Have like Natty and Tamina barely win. You know, there are other ways to get a new tag team over without just having
Zelina
the
them.
champ. Yeah.
Liv wasn't even a champ. Anyways, so Tegan starts off with Natalya. They're grappling for like a little while. Shotzi gets him. Tegan trips Natalya. Shotzi holds her while Tegan drop kicks her. A lot of setup for something or other move. I thought Shotzi was going to do something crazy, and she just kind of got in there and Nelson Natalya for a minute. Anyways, Tegan gets back in. Shotzi whips Tegan into Natalya. Shotzi gets back in. Tegan drops Shotzi into Natalya. Natalya gets free of a waistlock, tags in Tamina. Tamina is just pummeling the shit out of Shotzi. An elbow drop to Shotzi, and then Natty gets back in, catapults Shotzi into a boot from Tamina. Tegan breaks up the cover. My computer corrected that to corner. Confusing. Tegan broke up the cover. Get a single leg drop kick to Tamina, and then a cannonball from Shotzi. Shotzi hits the bulldog, goes up top with the senton to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Shotzi and Tegan's gonna be a weird tag team. It's gonna take a little bit.
I am not going to be used to it probably for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to change one of their gears. If it seems like we're going with Shotzi's music, so Tegan should change her gear.
Which sucks because Tegan had like such fun gear.
She can keep the Captain Marvel
Also,
stuff, but add like a more metal twist to it.
I just say Tegan's walkout music was like peak, like the Somerset all-time low esque pop punky bullshit. I miss it so much already. I remember when I first saw her come out and I was just like, this is a fucking bop. And now it's gone.
No.
Robert rooting me.
After that, we had an interview with Edge. Edge said he's pretty interested if Roman will come out by himself. This family reunion won't be a happy one. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. Sonya then comes out. We get a long ass promo or announcement, whatever. Sonya comes out to announce Bayley's replacement. She said, unfortunately, Bayley has sustained an injury and will be out for at least 9 months. She will no longer be at Money in the Bank. However, Bayley had some words. We then see Bayley on the Jumbo. She says, you're thinking this sucks because you wanted to see me again. Sorry, I'm like botching everything. You're thinking this sucks because you wanted to see me regain what's rightfully mine, but now I'm hurt. Just kidding, that's not what you're thinking. You don't care that I did this for you. To be the best. This is your fault. I don't give a damn who they put in my place. Sonya then said, with that being said, Bianca will no longer be defending at Money in the Bank. And I thought we were just ending at that. Period. Hard stop.
I thought they were just going to be like, we're going to wait till we have a different competitor.
Yeah. And then she said, instead she'll be defending it next Friday at the first ever Smackdown in Houston. Her opponent will be a former Smackdown Women's Champion and Money in the Bank winner, Carmella. Carmella then comes out. She says, Sonya, thank you for this long overdue, much deserved honor. But once again, you made a mistake. I'm also the most beautiful woman in all of WWE. Liv Morgan then comes out. She said, are you kidding me? First you appoint her in Money in the Bank ladder match, and now you appoint her as Bayley's replacement? How many times do I have to beat Carmella to have an opportunity? It's inexcusable. She corners Sonya as she's saying this, and Sonya yells, enough! I was about to appoint Carmella's replacement in Money in the Bank ladder match. You. Now you have 30 seconds to get out of the ring. As Liv's leaving, she says, I hope you win the title next week, because when I win Money in the Bank, I am cashing in on you. Bianca then comes out. She kind of gives a look to Liv as she passes by. I will gladly accept Carmella as my challenger, but Bayley, I don't even know if this injury is real. If it isn't, shame on you. If it is, I must say that I respect your competitive skills. And Carmella, I'll see you next week. Then we get Roman and Paul in their suite. Paul says we may have a problem. It's Edge. Edge intends on going out in the ring tonight and calling her bluff. Roman says, what else did he say? Paul says, I'm sorry. Edge questioned your manhood. Then we get a little vignette. Toni Storm coming to SmackDown soon. No specific date, just soon.
which means 3 months from now, probably.
Probably. Or probably.
Can I also?
Yeah.
I'm glad. How do I put this? I'm glad that the NXT women are getting called up.
Yeah.
Because that's something that they want, I guess. I don't know why. But Mia Yim. Where art thou, Mia Yim?
Who?
Alas, poor Mia. Hardly knew thee.
I guess it's hard to bring her in right now because the singles scene is so competitive for women. Because I mean, their lowest person right now is Liv, and Liv is no new. She's not any newcomer. Mia Yim, this would be like the first time we're seeing her technically. So like who is she gonna beat to get over? You know, there's no one for her to get over on. She can't beat Liv, especially now that Liv's getting a little push, it seems like. Carmella's in a Smackdown women's title match right now.
You put it this way. Right? It doesn't make it right. Okay?
What is the problem though is the fact that they're interrupting, like they're ending these storylines so suddenly on NXT because they just want to call up people.
Really, Saray just fucking challenged Tony, and I'm sure that Tony declining is like, oh, fuck, Tony, you're getting called up. Oh, scratch that.
Yeah. But no, it just looks
who's
like
Saray fighting now?
she'll fight somebody. Fight Mercedes.
No, she will not be fighting Mercedes.
Oh.
Mercedes will not be fighting anybody for a little while, I don't think.
She'll fight Xia Li and lose, probably. Fight Frankie Monet.
Didn't mean to get that close to the fucking camera.
Alright, so then we go to Seth Rollins versus Cesaro for qualifying for the Money in the Bank ladder match. This match fucking rocked. This was great.
This was something.
This was better than the fucking what pay-per-view did we just had? Hell in a Cell match that these guys had.
Yes. That just felt like a Smackdown match. This felt like a pay-per-view match.
Yeah. Especially with how much Cesaro was split open. Looked like a blade job, but that definitely was not a blade job. That did not close quickly.
Yeah. So we get a waist lock on Seth. Cesaro tries to lift him. There's a shoulder tackle to Seth. Seth goes to jump over Cesaro, but Cesaro grabs him, throws him into a backbreaker. Cesaro then goes up top, hits a beautiful crossbody lateral press. After Seth kicks out of that, we get a kick under the jaw to Cesaro, and Cesaro clotheslines Seth over the ropes. Cesaro follows him down there. Seth sends him into the stairs. Once we're back in the ring, Seth kicks Cesaro in the shoulder, hits him with a drop knee. An uppercut to Seth, and then several backslide attempts exchanged between the two of them. Seth goes over Cesaro's shoulders as Cesaro attempts to backslide Seth. He goes for the stomp, does that goofy little shit where he catches himself, sends a back heel into Cesaro's head, blah, 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 blah. But then Cesaro hits his stride with an uppercut marathon, and then sprinkles a couple of European uppercuts in the corners. Pepper. Cesaro goes for a lariat, but Seth ducks him, goes for a neck breaker, can't quite get that off either. Cesaro lifts him up, throws him onto his shoulders, and then slams him off of the shoulders? Like, I don't know how to explain that. Cesaro then goes up top again. Seth meets him for the superplex, floats through, goes for another, and Cesaro instead picks Seth up and dumps him over the ropes. And in doing so, Seth hangs on to Cesaro, who also goes over the ropes. A lot of weight. A lot of weight being exchanged over each other.
Oh yeah.
Go to commercial break. When we come back, Cesaro is swinging Seth. He steps through for the sharpshooter, but Seth instead rolls Cesaro up. A pop-up uppercut to Seth. Seth then grabs onto the ropes in the corner. Cesaro pulls him out, slamming him into the ground, but at the same time, Seth rips the turnbuckle pad off. Cesaro wants the neutralizer, but Seth dumps Cesaro over his shoulders. Cesaro then goes for the corkscrew uppercut, but Seth catches him with a fist of his own. Seth then sends a fist into the back of Cesaro's neck, and then drives Cesaro into the barricade. And at this point, Cesaro is bloody, and I didn't catch what happened to him.
It looked like it was conveniently, like, timed to where it was a result of the turnbuckle. But he definitely did not knock his head on that, because, I mean, just how he went into it. I don't think he's.
Cesaro just doesn't strike me as a guy who would blade.
Nah. Plus, I mean, it definitely was not a blade job. It would have.
Yeah, that was a Christopher Daniels job.
Yeah, it would have closed up so quickly. But no, it became like a fountain.
It was bad. But Cesaro's then driven into the announce desk. Cesaro goes headfirst into the ground, and then is DDT'd into the steel ramp, which Seth also throws himself backwards into, and then nearly swears very loudly on camera. It was just a very long... Like, Seth, you chose to do this, buddy! Rollins then goes for the stomp, but Cesaro stacks him up. He wants the sharpshooter, but Cesaro's way too clumsy at this point. Blood is pouring down his head. Seth hits him with the stomp to win. And I just say, when Cesaro's head is bleeding, watching Seth do the stomp, I'm just like, please don't. You're getting blood everywhere. No one wants to see that shit.
Oh, but it was so good. I don't like to knock when wrestlers, start bleeding, because it's like they do this for their craft. Like I'm sure they don't hate when they bleed like that, unless it's like Christopher Daniels level.
Please stop. I'm so sad about him still.
Oh, he probably looks back on that moment and was like, fuck, that was like the best way to go out.
Yeah, but he was so sad when he was contemplating retiring.
Yeah.
He sat down and said, please let me have more time. I was like, you're dying, bud.
I think Alistair or Malachi says he wants to fight Christopher Daniels.
I wouldn't mind it.
Make him bleed again. I will make him bleed again. So that was an excellent match with a fantastic finish. We then get the Usos outside of Edge's locker room. Jimmy's about to knock, but then Jay says, wait, let him come out first, and then we can get him. We go to commercial. We come back. They're still outside of the locker room. Jimmy says, I'm tired of waiting. Let's go in. They go in. He's not there. And so they leave.
I just say, because the commercial break was like 3 minutes, and we're supposed to assume this is in real time, it just felt like Jimmy stood out there for 3 minutes and was like, no, fuck this. This is way too long. I've been sitting here all day.
It is supposed to be in real time. Like, I don't think... So, yeah.
The way that Jimmy was just like, we've been here too long. I'm like, I haven't been there at all.
Alright, so then we go to an interview with Seth Rollins. He's so happy he qualified. He hugs Kayla. He said, thank you so much. I knew from the beginning that nincompoop didn't stand a chance. That nincompoop, Cesaro. He put up a hell of a fight. He's just not on my level. I am the present, the future, Mr. Money in the Bank. Last time I won, who did I cash in on? Oh, that's right. The Tribal Chief. The current Universal Champion. I bided my time, waited for the perfect moment. This time, I don't want to wait. I'll cash in at Money in the Bank, and that made me instantly confident in Seth Rollins winning, or Big E winning. After dropping a line like that, they're not going to cash in at Money in the Bank. Whoever wins, there will be a cash in that night. Edge then walks in. He says, "So I heard this droning, nasally whining." See, here's the difference between you and me. You bitch and moan about getting a title opportunity, and I go out and take it. I'll do something you won't, and that's call Roman out. God, they are really setting up Seth and Edge, and I'm here for it. It's gonna be so good. They then get Chad, Gable, and Otis backstage briefly. Chad said there's something beautiful about a demolition video after they showed a video of Otis wrecking house. He said it doesn't matter if you're the Street Profits, Big E, Edge, or even Roman. You step to Alpha Academy, the result is the same. Otis then says, "I will destroy anyone." And then we go to Edge in the ring. He says, "So I guess congrats are in order. They had a nice group hug. I don't care how many minions Roman has, I have exposed the cracks in the table. At Money in the Bank, I will take the championship. Anyone who gets in the way will look like this." And then goes to Jimbo, shows pictures of Roman and Jay in, I think they called it Edge Lock or Edge Face. Something like that. I think Edge Face. I think Jay or Jimmy called it that earlier. Edge Face.
I guess you call it edging.
I thought it was Edge Face, like cross face. Edge Face.
Sorry, the word edge just... a 15-year-old boy. Fair.
Are you old enough to be drinking that? He said, "I'm going to take the Universal title at Money in the Bank. Without the Universal title, your island isn't relevant. I'm going to roam inside your head until the job's done. I'm calling you out. Get your ass out here right now." And we see Roman standing in a suite. He says, "Stay here. I'll handle this on my own." Roman, we see in Gorilla now. He hands Paul the title. He comes out. Usos are seen in the suite. They say, "I think it's a trap. Head out there." They come out. Roman scolds them. Roman gets in the ring, and we see Edge and Roman immediately exchanging blows. The Mysterios then come out of nowhere, attack Usos with the chairs. Jay gives a super kick to Ray. Edge plants Roman into the ring. Jay attacks Edge and holds him down to prevent a spear. Ray then attacks Jimmy. We get a double 619 from Dominic. Edge spears Jay in the middle of the ring. Roman heads up the ramp and watches as Edge grabs a chair, stomps out the bottom rail, and gets Jay in the Edge face. And Edge yells, "Roman, 1 week!" And then puts another Edge face on Jay, and then gives another one on Jimmy, just for good luck. And that's the episode. That's our Smackdown for today.
Yay!
The biggest stuff is definitely Seth and Liv and Shotzi and Tegan. So best of the night. Before we get to the best of the night, I want to give an update on the top 10 wrestlers of 2021. Among the top promotions. So, number 10 from Impact, Joe Doring. Again, this is across all the major promotions. Number 9 from Raw, Bobby Lashley. Number 8 from NXT, Wesley. Number 7 from NXT, Nash Carter. Number 6 from AEW, the TNT champion, Miro. Number 5, one half of the AEW Tag Team Champs, Nick Jackson. Number 4, the other half of the AEW Tag Team Champs, Matt Jackson. Number 3, the former TNT champion Darby Allin. Number 2, the Universal Champion, head of the table, Roman Reigns. And number 1, the current AEW World Champion, Impact World Champion, TNA Champion, AAA Champion, Kenny Omega. And that is our update on the top 10 professional wrestlers in the major promotions. Alright, so best of the night tonight.
Huh.
Promo of the night. Let's see, where are we? So Roman and Paul to start off the night. It was a Roman promo. It was good. Nice to see Jay back. That was fun. Just a whole lot of gaslighting. Nothing really new. Then we had Baron Corbin's interview. It was just so sad. Then we had Natty and Tamina in the ring just before their match. That was fine. Edge's interview. That was nice because of that little reference. That's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Then we get Sonya announcing Bayley's replacement. That was a lot of fun just because of the Liv Morgan stuff. Seeing like the whole interaction between Liv and Sonya was just so well done. Liv really felt, passionate about missing this opportunity, and Sonya just raising her voice was great. Because I think we all had kind of the same reaction as Liv, like, why the fuck does Carmella get another opportunity? It's bullshit.
I felt that way just because I don't like Carmella, but
yeah, but I kind of think that's how they're booking Carmella. Like they're intentionally making her obnoxious. Like the whole most beautiful woman in WWE. That's not a likable accolade. Then we go to the Usos Edge's locker room. That was just dumb. Seth's interview was great. Getting that interaction between Seth and Edge is wonderful. Plus, Seth's whole rant was so good. Chad and Otis was fine. And then finally, the segment to end the night, Edge, Roman. It's a whole lot of staring. It was like a whole lot of just staring back and forth. It was kind of lame, but seeing the Mysterios back, that was nice. Nice to see the Smackdown Tag Team Champs get like kind of a story, something relevant. But I just see the inevitable 6-man tag match next week or whenever. Probably next week. Although, actually no. I don't see them having Roman wrestle outside of a title match. They'll probably just do the Usos versus Mysterios.
After you said 6-man tag and I said yes, I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't see them actually using Roman in that though. Or Edge. It seemed to be too high priority.
SmackDown's a lot more careful about what matches the champion wrestles in, which is good. So my pick for promo of the night, it's Sonya's announcement. I thought that was the most impactful promo of the whole night.
It's nice to see somebody want to be in the WWE.
Yeah.
Want to be involved. Like, half the people on Raw.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
It's great that they're not just giving the attention to, like, whoever's at the top. Like, Liv is very clearly at the bottom right now, unfortunately. Not counting Mia Yim. But it's we're kind of getting like an underdog starting from the bottom story, which is great. Alright, Wrestler of the Night now. I am very solid in my pick here. We start off with Shinsuke versus Corbin. I picked Baron Corbin. I just saw Shinsuke do too many botches, and I was like, Corbin's too solid in this match to pick Shinsuke over him. Then we had Shotzi and Nox versus Natty and Tamina. I'll go with Nox. Hard Nox. Imagine they just made her name that. Hard Knocks. School of Hard Knocks.
I'm sure they'll use that at some point.
Yeah. It'll be like a
They don't release
t-shirt.
her.
Yeah. It might happen tomorrow. You never know.
She's on the main roster now. She's not safe.
Well, the past releases were all NXT.
The most recent releases were all NXT.
Yeah.
That doesn't count because that was the entire cruiserweight division, and they just said fuck it.
Except
Firebombed it.
Except Dango and Breeze.
I don't recognize that as a release. I recognize it as an atrocity.
But yeah, Nox, she was a lot of fun to watch, and seeing her on the main roster for the first time was, it's great to see that she is already in the swing of things. Then we had Seth versus Cesaro. My money here is definitely Seth. Like, he was fantastic in this match, whether it was his fighting capability or his character work. I mean, he was just fantastic throughout the entire match. Didn't skip a single beat. So, I gotta give him match of the night. Or wrestler of the night.
I agree.
Okay, I was gonna say who else. Maybe Cesaro, but...
I agree with you.
Cool.
I was pretty impressed.
Alright, so match of the night. Again, I already know what I'm gonna pick. Do you need me to run through
Got
it?
3 options.
Do you need me to run through it?
What was your least favorite match of tonight?
Oh, I forgot I was doing it that way now.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. So
The more fun way.
going from least to most favorite.
Like when you're part of a competition and they announce third place first and then second place, and you're like, well, they haven't called my name, so either I lost or I won.
Either they forgot about me or I won. Alright, so my least favorite match of the night, coming in at a 3 out of 10, was Natty and Tamina versus Shotzi and Tegan. Or, sorry, Shotzi and Nox. It was just not a smooth match. Like, it wasn't well put together at all. And, like, the finish, they should not have had Natty and Tamina get pinned. That was not good. That was not good at all. Next, coming at number 2, with a 5 out of 10, Baron Corbin versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It was fun. It was alright. Big E on the sidelines was nice, but it felt so clumsy. Felt rushed. Yeah. Corbin seemed like the only one with his shit together in the match.
Yeah.
And then finally, we can all guess what number 1 is, with an 8 out of 10. Seth Rollins versus Cesaro for the Money in the Bank qualifier. This is so much fun. It was like, this is like one of the best matches between these two. This is a contender with WrestleMania, and that one gets the edge just because it was in front of a crowd and had that momentum and that energy with it. But this was so much fun. Got over a lot of story. It's just, it was fantastic.
I very much agree. I had the time of my life. I hope Cesaro's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's not, like, concussed.
Yeah. Yeah. And a beautiful stomp from Seth is even better when his opponent's bleeding from the head. Like, imagine if he was fighting Christopher Daniels in that match and stomped him. Yeah, this was perfect. Everything about it was just worked out so nicely. Alright, so to run it back, promo of the night. Sonya announces Bayley's replacement. Wrestler of the night, Seth Rollins. Match of the night, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. Liz, do you want to answer some questions?
Yellow.
Alright, if you have any questions, please leave it in the chat if you're watching on the live show, if you're watching on YouTube after this is ended. Leave a question in the comments and we'll get to it after the in the next show, in the next podcast. Questions can be about anything. It can be about wrestling, non-wrestling. It can be about us. It can be about show, what we thought, or predictions, shit like that. What ifs. What ifs are always fun. We got a question from Milam on YouTube. He said, sad to hear the movies being postponed indefinitely, but I totally get one and make it perfect. Relatedly, what are each of your guys' favorite horror films and why? I'll let you, or do you want me to go first since you might need to think about this more?
Yes.
My favorite, 100%, is Scream. Scream is my all-time favorite movie. It's fucking just a beautiful fusion of meta self-awareness and horror, just straight up horror. Great comedy horror is great when it has when it's also scary. That's what I love about it.
I'm annoyed now. You took mine.
I mean, I could change mine, except I already said it.
But Skeet Ulrich has my entire heart, so.
Yeah. He's aged well.
I don't know.
What about the Clove Hitch Killer?
That was a good one, but that one made me cry. I don't like any horror movies where animals die. I won't watch those.
Halloween?
Halloween, the doggy dies, so no.
What? No, the doggy doesn't die.
Doggy does die because you hear the doggy squeal.
You hear it die.
What do I like? You've shown me most of the horror movies I've watched.
Yeah.
Never watched a horror movie without you.
Remember the Terrifier?
No.
That was
a sexist fantasy film.
It was a bad movie. You haven't seen The Thing. Have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
We watched that. That was good.
That was really good.
I'm trying to think like back to horror films. Let me see. If I look up popular horror films, maybe I'll find something.
I could also try and think some. Saw. You've seen the Saw movies.
Saw is one of my favorites. The first Saw is one of the best movies I think that's ever been made.
It is really good.
I would say that that's probably one I'm gonna go with.
There's Zodiac, technically.
I don't really count crime as horror.
That's horror. It's not really crime because the protagonist is like a journalist or an editor rather than a cop or something.
Get Out counts.
Get Out, definitely. Us. I don't think you've seen Us though.
I haven't seen Us.
Remember The Void?
The Void was like
That scared the
not
shit
bad.
out of you. That was pretty good. Except it was like a.
What was the other one?
A thing.
We watched two that night. We watched Devil's Candy? Was that what it's called?
No, it wasn't the Devil's Candy. It was The Ritual, I think.
Oh, we watched The Ritual a different night.
Oh, did we?
I swear we watched The Devil's Candy that night as well.
Oh, I must not have stayed for that.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah. You were there for that. It was about the artist who like keeps painting like weirder and weirder shit. It's hard to explain.
There's also Raw.
No. I'd say the first Scream movie because that still sticks with me and fucking makes my skin crawl when I think about it.
So perfect. It is the perfect horror movie. The second one is fantastic too.
All of them are fantastic, but thank you. Every single Scream movie is perfect. Jigsaw had a good point in all of them.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? Are you drunk right now? You said Scream. And now you're talking about Jigsaw.
Oh, I thought you said Saw. See, you tune me out when I do the intro. I tune you out when you talk about horror movies.
But you said Scream first. You said the first Scream. That's my pick.
Oh no, the first Saw. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Am I drunk? But no, yeah, the first Saw because the first Saw still sticks with me, and it's very popular on Tumblr, so I see a lot of gift sets from it. And every time I see a gift set, I'm just like, Or runner-up, if I'm not including Scream, is The Neighbors.
Oh, that was good. Did we watch
That
Hush
movie,
together?
The Neighbors ruined my life and forever has made me terrified because most like horror movies are like sort of a reason that somebody's getting murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And literally The Neighbors is just straight up because you were home. And ever since then I was like, I'm gonna die.
That movie brought back the home invasion genre, subgenre.
Oh, terrifies me.
Hush has that same effect on me.
Yeah.
Miriam has a couple questions. I'll get to her second one first. How's the third co-host Pepita doing these days?
Let me see if I can see her.
Now let's have her answer herself. I hope she's not far away. She is far away? Alright, well, I'll have to entertain while Liz tries to wrangle Pepita.
I can't wrangle her, unfortunately.
You can't wrangle her?
I can't see in the living room. It's very dark and I don't have my glasses on.
Almost like you should be wearing glasses.
Okay. Our darling Bubenza, Bubby, Pita, Stinky Butt, whatever you want to call her, is doing fantastic, actually. She does not come to the show anymore because she does not want to be around. She's lovely, and sometimes she bites my fingers for no good reason.
Yeah. Miriam's other question is, what do you think about the teasing of Murphy and Malachi Black continuing their feud? Is it just a Twitter thing, or do you think we're going to see Murphy and Malachi do something together again? It's very... They do want to do something because Malachi, in his video teaser that he posted on Twitter, or Instagram, wherever it was, he mentioned... Or the doctor that he was talking to mentioned getting into fights with Matthew. Now he's got to stop. And Buddy Murphy's real name is Matthew. So that was a very clear reference. So yeah, they definitely want to fight each other, and I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah, I would love to see that shit. I think it's going to be awesome because they want it so badly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a banger of a match. And I feel like the wrestlers have a lot of sway in AEW, and I feel like if Alistair petitioned hard enough and made a good enough point, it would bring Buddy in because it's not these full-time contracted people.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want, basically.
And AEW listens to a lot of fan feedback, it looks like, or they know what the crowd wants. Oh god. Oh, there she is.
She goes, the furry snick.
And they know Murphy and Murphy and Malachi would rake in so much at a pay-per-view. Like imagine.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Imagine a last man standing match or a no disqualification match, a street fight between those two. Like anything. Just give these guys like several months back and forth. Fantastic.
Fun.
That's all the questions. Would you like to close out the show?
Fun. Yes. Oh, you're getting Mads again. God dang it, Pete. If you tuned in tonight, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love you. And if you tune into the future, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'm excited because we will be back on Monday for the actually, I might not be here on Monday or Tuesday. I might actually be leaving you alone with Mark. I probably will be here Monday, but I will not have watched Raw. So Mark will have to tell me everything, and he might slip in a couple of lies.
Yeah, I'll say like Alistair debuted again.
Yeah, I've got shit. But it's fine because my sister will be there, so we'll have fun. Anyways, totally looking forward to it. It's just sneezed a very wet sneeze onto my toes.
Nice. Did you say bless you?
My toes are wet.
You. Say bless you.
Bless you, Pete. Bless you, Pepita.
Thank you.
Anyways, Mark will at least be here on Monday and Tuesday, so please tune in on Monday and Tuesday.
It's gonna be great.
Mark's getting us canceled. You're gonna be so disappointed when I end up on the Monday podcast.
First guest of the night is Riddle.
The second guest, Riker.
No, he's the third guest.
Who's the second guest?
Second guest is TJP. We're talking about masks.
It upsets me for 2 reasons.
Fourth guest, Shane McMahon.
Were you allowed to have Class A drugs in this apartment?
Alright. Thank you all so much for watching. Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. You can see all of our previous episodes there. But on the Twitch, follow and subscribe. Check out the live show if you're watching on YouTube. Our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I am at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And I'll be back on Monday for Monday Night Raw. There's no pay-per-views this weekend. It's unfortunate.
This weekend?
Next weekend, though, we got Slammiversary. And then we have Money in the Bank. It's going to be a stuffed weekend.
So excited for Slammiversary.
If we can watch it.
Daniel Bryan debuts, I'm gonna have a fucking hissy fit.
He's not gonna. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you on Monday for Raw. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you then.
Peter says goodbye.
There she is. Oh, yeah, don't show that.